Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're stepping away from the usual political drama and diving into the lighter, funnier side of American presidents. Yes, even the most powerful people in the world have their awkward, bizarre, and downright hilarious moments. Let's explore some of the quirkiest and most unexpected stories about US presidents that are sure to make you smile. Did you know that one president had a pet alligator living in the White House? That's right. John Quincy Adams was gifted an alligator by a French general, and instead of politely declining, he decided to keep it. The alligator lived in the White House bathtub for months, occasionally startling unsuspecting guests. Imagine touring the White House and finding a giant reptile staring back at you. And speaking of animals, let's not forget Calvin Coolidge, who basically turned the White House into a zoo. His collection of pets included raccoons, a wallaby, a pygmy hippo, and even a bear cub. The raccoon, named Rebecca, was supposedly meant to be cooked for Thanksgiving dinner, but Coolidge and his wife decided to adopt her instead. Rebecca became something of a White House mascot, often seen on a leash or being carried around like a lapdog. Now let's talk about food. President James Garfield once got into a heated argument over a plate of biscuits. According to the story, Garfield was dining with a foreign diplomat who insulted the quality of the biscuits on the table. Garfield, not one to let a culinary insult slide, reportedly argued passionately for several minutes, insisting they were the finest biscuits in all of America. The conversation became so absurd that both men eventually burst out laughing. Then there's the tale of Teddy Roosevelt and his boxing obsession. Roosevelt loved a good sparring match, but his enthusiasm for the sport sometimes got the better of him. During one session, an opponent accidentally landed a punch that partially blinded him in one eye. Instead of being angry or giving up the sport, Roosevelt shrugged it off and kept boxing, just with a little less intensity. Another gaffe-worthy moment comes from Lyndon B. Johnson, who had an interesting way of asserting dominance in conversations. Johnson was known for conducting meetings from unconventional places, including his bathroom. Yes, he would call advisors into the bathroom and continue talking politics while using the toilet. It might have been a power move, but it left many of his staffers red-faced and eager to wrap up the conversation. And finally, one of the most infamous White House gaffes involves Gerald Ford, who was known for his clumsiness. During his presidency, Ford tripped, fell, or bumped into something so often that comedians made him a constant punchline. One of the most famous incidents was when he tumbled down the stairs while exiting Air Force One. The footage went viral, well, as viral as things could in the pre-internet era, and Ford's reaction. He laughed it off, saying, "I'm just trying to keep America grounded." Presidents, it turns out, are far from perfect. They have embarrassing moments, strange hobbies, and quirks that remind us they're only human, just with a much bigger stage. From bathtub alligators to raccoons on leashes, these stories show that even the leaders of the free world need a little humor in their lives. So the next time you think of the White House as a serious place, remember, somewhere in its history, a raccoon and an alligator shared the spotlight with the commander-in-chief.